Part 7. The Alchemist's Archetypal Journey. Chapter 23. Enslavement to Enlightenment. This chapter contains the alchemist's journey from enslavement to enlightenment. Each stage is represented by an archetype, or a power animal, which, when evoked, will have a profound effect on your unconscious mind. Before we begin, let me clarify what is meant by the terms medicine and archetype. Native American medicine. To understand the concept of Native American medicine, we must redefine the term medicine. In this tradition, medicine can be defined as anything that improves our connection to the underlying principle of life, the Great Spirit, as the Native Americans call it. This includes anything which strengthens our connection to spirit, heals our body, purifies our mind, and brings personal power, strength, and understanding. According to the Native American tradition, all of nature is connected at an unseen level. Note the similarities to the findings of modern-day science. The animals, plants, and rocks all have lessons to impart. Throughout the ages, these messages have helped humanity to survive, providing us with direction, protection, and healing principles. The animal kingdom is the primary source of these messages. By studying the animals in their natural habitat, we elicit their teachings. The essential nature of each animal embodies a lesson. For example, the message of the eagle is freedom, vision, focus, power, and spirit. Assimilating the attributes of the animals and applying them to our lives is a powerful and exciting way to evolve. Animals constantly teach us novel ways to reach our true potential. Each lesson they impart is based on one major idea or concept. When we call upon the power of an animal, we are asking to be endowed with the strength of that creature's essence, or, in Native American terms, its medicine. Archetypes. According to eminent Swiss psychiatrist Carl Jung, the psyche consists of various layers, including the personal and collective unconscious. His theory of the personal unconscious is similar to that of Freud's in that it is assumed to be a region of the mind which contains a person's repressed experiences. Normally, feelings and perceptions appertaining to significant people or events in the person's past. Jung, however, claimed there was a deeper layer of the unconscious, which he named the collective unconscious. Unlike the personal unconscious, which is unique to the individual, the collective unconscious is a layer of the mind common to us all. The collective unconscious houses archetypes, which Jung believed to be innate, unconscious, universal patterns of psychic energy. To state it in simple terms, an archetype is a pattern of energy which embodies a particular theme. For example, the hero or the clown. It is an original model or prototype after which other similar things are patterned. For example, Superman and Batman are the archetypes that have influenced many other hero-type characters which followed: Spider-Man, Daredevil, and Iron Man, etc. Archetypes are said to provide the deep structure for human motivation and meaning. You may view them as imprints hardwired into our psyches, which evoke deep feeling and propel us in a certain direction. When we contemplate an archetype and allow its essence to pervade our mind, we assume its attributes and characteristics. For instance, have you ever been to the cinema and become so engrossed in the movie that you have felt yourself become the hero or the lover? This is due to that particular archetype being activated within your unconscious and emerging to dominate your being. Other examples of archetypes can be seen in the major arcana of the tarot deck. For example, the Fool, the High Priestess, and the Devil. The Fool archetype embodies the themes of innocence, simplicity, beginnings, and faith. It portrays the youthful exuberance we possess when starting out on a new adventure. The Fool makes no plans, nor gives thought to possible complications along the way. He takes joy in doing something different and will willingly go where others fear to tread. The tarot deck portrays the Fool's journey through life. Each major arcana card represents a stage in the journey and imparts wisdom and guidance that we can assimilate in order to reach our true potential. In the same way, what follows is the Alchemist archetypal journey through life. Archetypes offer a powerful way of changing our emotional state instantaneously because they directly impact our unconscious in a profound way. Read and study the following stages. One stage every day. Initially, go through the journey in chronological order. Thereafter, allow your intuition to guide you to any particular stage that seems significant. After absorbing the reading, seat yourself comfortably and mentally focus on the archetype. Allow its essence to permeate your unconscious mind and contemplate the lessons it relays. For example, is this lesson revealing insights into yourself? Is it providing direction? Is it highlighting your strengths? Is it offering healing? Allow the answers to emerge from the depths of your unconscious without force. Remain relaxed and open-minded, and watch as your comprehension of the forces of creation accentuate to produce amazing results in your life. 0. The Adventurer. Our journey begins with the freedom-loving adventurer. He represents new beginnings and a heroic quest for self-knowledge. The adventurer is resourceful and creative. He has a different agreement with reality than most, knowing no limitations. He is not afraid to dream his dreams and pursue them with passion. He meets every situation with youthful exuberance. His number is 0, the empty vessel waiting to be filled. The adventurer is not afraid to crash to the floor or soar to the highest heights. He is prepared to take creative risks. His philosophy is that nothing is beyond the realms of possibility. As a result, he is wide open to new opportunities. In what ways are you bound by rigidity and conformity? How can you redefine your agreement with reality? In what ways can you tap into your youthful exuberance? Remember, a ship anchored in a safe harbor cannot explore the oceans. 1. The Owl. The alchemist comes to know his hidden aspects through the archetype of the owl. Owl sees and knows the truth. His ability to navigate through the darkest night and bring back nourishment for himself signifies our ability to explore our unconscious and use our findings to enhance our lives. Owl's message is one of awareness, mindfulness, and vision. His ability to see through 360 degrees means nothing goes unnoticed. In Greek mythology, Pallas Athene, the goddess of wisdom, had an owl sat on her shoulder to light up her blind side. In what ways are you deceiving yourself? In what ways are you allowing others to deceive you? Would you like to illuminate your highest path? Owl medicine enables you to see that which others cannot, which is the true essence of wisdom. When this energy pervades your inner world, your higher self is awakened and provides wise counsel on every situation. Your indwelling divinity is the light that expels all darkness. Those with owl medicine can see that which is concealed, intuit what is not spoken aloud, and read between the lines. They move swiftly and silently through life's shadows, using otherworldly knowledge and wisdom to light up their path. Owl will illuminate your blind side, making self-deceit impossible. 2. The Magician. Being aware of the illusion is the magician's greatest attribute. The material world, in essence, is a mass illusion. When we are aware of the illusion, we become free to tap into the underlying intelligence which permeates all things and utilize it for the good of ourselves and all we encounter. The magician's attributes include power, action, awareness, application, and resourcefulness. He is graceful and confident, able to make things happen with ease. The magician is in control of his own thoughts, and therefore the ruler of reality. He uses every resource available to him to wield absolute power over all circumstances. The magician archetype embodies the multiplicity of talents the universe has bestowed upon you: originality, creativity, imagination, self-reliance, spontaneity, self-confidence, ingenuity, flexibility, masterfulness, self-control. This energy will endow you with the will, skill, optimism, and initiative needed to rise to any challenge and successfully implement the changes needed for optimal living. Magician energy will enable you to manifest your desires, transform your belief system, devise innovative new ideas, transform a deficit into an asset, succeed in the face of adversity, heal yourself. 3. Death. Many of us equate death with an ending, especially the end of life. This archetype, however, pertains to change, exposure, transition, termination, and inevitability. The death archetype speaks of conclusion. It indicates that major change is needed in a certain area of your life. Every ending gives rise to a new beginning. Death is simply a rebirth, which often involves the dissolution of our old perception of self and the emergence of a new one. The death archetype exposes us to the inevitabilities of life. The only thing you can count on in life is death and change. No matter how long we've been employed, married, or lived in one location, we are always exposed to change. Life is in constant flux. Death is never the end. It is simply a change of direction. What traits, attitudes, and patterns have outlived their usefulness? Become aware of those things that have outlived their usefulness. Prepare to shed them. Like a harvest, death marks the end of a cycle in which new seeds are sown. A healthy human being undergoes many death and rebirth cycles. Evolution, by definition, is a natural progression in which the things that no longer serve us expire and make way for a new way of being. 4. The Prophet. On the whole, the archetypal journey of the alchemist is focused on personal responsibility. The underlying persuasion of each archetype places the responsibility of life squarely on the shoulders of the individual. We're in sole charge of our lives, and the consequences of our actions determine our direction. The prophet archetype is a guiding force. Having the attributes of forbearance and foresight, he is able to foresee the consequences of our current actions. Remember, however, the future isn't set in stone. Life unfolds according to what you are thinking and feeling in the present moment. Change the way you think now, and the future will take a new direction. Life is cyclical in nature. What we reap, so we sow, is the basis of karma. The Sanskrit word karma simply means action, and every action has a consequence. Therefore, our current actions mold our future. Many of us have experienced guilt, paranoia, and fear as a result of inappropriate actions. We are well aware of the subsequent persecution it causes. The prophet archetype urges us to invest more time carefully, considering the nature of our thoughts before we act on them. Allow life-denying thoughts to pass and embrace the life-enhancing ones. When we concentrate on the prophet archetype, our attention is focused on our convictions. He urges us to examine our belief systems, how we operate within these beliefs, and how they affect our lives. To accomplish this, we must be highly aware of the factors which influence our lives, the drivers. We must disentangle our thought processes and identify that which causes us to move in a certain direction. We must be diligent and pursue a course that leads to the highest expression of ourselves. If we take a few minutes each day to consider the effects of our thoughts on our actions, we will initiate a major change in our life. The prophet is also endowed with moral insight and the ability to receive and express divine inspiration. He is master of esoteric knowledge, incredibly well-versed in the ways of spirit. He guides and instructs, acting as a bridge between us and the universal mind. He is forever mindful of his responsibility to assist people on their spiritual path. He is aware of the intricate workings of nature, the movement of spiritual matters, and finely tuned to the stirrings of the mind. He is vitally tapped into the flow of ancient knowledge and instinctively understands the connections between nature, philosophy, science, and religion. Sit quietly and relax. Allow your awareness to progress to a time in the future. From this perspective, look back and see what you have achieved. Pay careful attention to the peaks and troughs. Acknowledge your strengths and weaknesses. How could you have improved your life? What resources and attributes do you need to develop to reach your true potential? Evoke the prophet archetype, the inner visionary. Allow him or her to reveal your highest path. The prophet is an inspired teacher, visionary, and proclaimer of universal will. 5. The soul child. Wear a smile and have friends. Wear a scowl and have wrinkles. George Eliot. Hidden beneath layer upon layer of conditioning, deep within the depths of our psyche, there lies an unblemished, incredibly wise, yet playful aspect of our being. An aspect that is deeply grounded in its spiritual roots. The soul child is that aspect of our being that existed prior to conditioning, prior to being infected by the conflicting messages of society. As infants, we internalize messages about ourselves that give rise to a false perception of self, a fragmented and illusory self called the ego. Before this influx of mental pollution, we were pure, whole, and extremely aware of our true nature, immortal, omnipotent, children of the universe. When we are grounded in our true nature, all our fears and worries dissipate. What can there possibly be to fear? We were not born. We will not die. Weapons cannot harm us. We are invincible. When we truly acknowledge this truth, there is nothing left to do except laugh. The soul child embodies the wonderment you had as a child. When you evoke this archetype, you see the world through the eyes of that child. The soul child is alive, vigorous, curious, adventurous, playful, and even mischievous. It exudes happiness. If you're taking life too serious, wrapped up in complexity, evoke the energy of this soul child and embrace the simple pleasures in life. How would your life change if you traded your worries for wonderment? Playfulness promotes well-being. How can you incorporate playfulness into your daily activities? As children, we learn to detach and disassociate during times of trouble. This often leads to fragmentation, as we lose parts of ourselves. Healing involves reconnecting with those lost parts. One such estranged facet is the soul child. Evoking the soul child involves trading your stress and anxiety for wonderment. You are an immortal child of the universe, endowed with unlimited potential. When you truly acknowledge this, worry, stress, and anxiety become redundant. Find a quiet place, relax, induce an altered state of consciousness, and evoke the soul child. 6. The Lovers. Unity. This archetype is often associated with romantic partnerships and passion. Here, however, we will transcend the earthly meaning in favor of the transcendental state of unity consciousness. The Lover's archetype pertains to yoga, or union with God. At the most primordial level of being, there is no separation, no individuality, no other. We are all one. True love is a state in which our being is grounded in the sacred singularity. When we operate from the level of source, we assume our rightful heritage as co-creator of the universe. With our awareness grounded in the intelligence of the ultimate being, we are infallible. The Lover's archetype encompasses the dualistic nature of life. Good, bad, harmony, disharmony, joy, sorrow, all of which create ambivalence and emotional imbalance in our lives. The antidote to this uncertainty and unrest is love. To be truly in love is to be grounded in the oneness of the sacred singularity. It is interesting to note that the term holy, enmeshed in the whole, depicts this state. By immersing ourselves in God consciousness, we transcend the nuances of life and bathe in a haven of peace and tranquility. The gateway to the sanctuary of the sacred singularity is silence and meditation. Take time to relax or commune with nature. Allow your inner dialogue to dissipate and let your awareness slip into the silence which prevails. There, you will find balance, equanimity, unity, and serenity. There, you will be in love. Imagine the feeling of wholeness transpiring as a result, all your subpersonalities being in alignment and working together for your highest good. Are you ready to be filled with the bliss of being? Evoke the Lover's archetype and reconnect with the ground of all being. Sit quietly. Take a few deep breaths. Don't do, just be. Allow your thoughts to dissipate and slip into the silent gap that prevails. Bathe in the bliss of unity consciousness. Notice how quickly that void and fragmentation is supplanted by a great sense of wholeness. Separation can't exist where unity prevails. 7. The Charioteer. Chariot battle was a great endeavor which involved coordination, vision, strength, and determination. Imagine trying to control two powerful steeds while negotiating your way through the chaos, commotion, and perilous terrain of the battlefield. This will give you some idea why the Charioteer archetype represents focus, drive, and control. The Charioteer is representative of our ability to harness and direct our energy under conditions of extreme duress. When we become besieged by life, Charioteer energy enables us to stay in firm control and focus on the task ahead. Self-discipline is the key. When our internal forces, the steeds, get out of control, we can be hurled into chaos and devastation. The battle. So, we must exercise self-restraint. Our level of skill is often reflected in our ability to be patient whilst maintaining the sheer conviction to triumph. Are you tired of your self-will running riot? Would you like to resume control of your life? Are you ready to harness your energies and steer them in the direction of your life's purpose? Are you ready to control your mind instead of allowing your mind to control you? 8. Strength. The strength archetype has a deeper meaning than simply brute force. It involves harnessing the attributes of compassion and understanding to soothe the savage beast within. It is the ability to refrain from impulsive action and weigh up the situation. Be a cause, not an effect. What people think of you is their business. How you respond is yours. In the tarot pack, strength is depicted by a lion and a pure maiden. The lion represents our inner beast, that part of ourselves that need to feed on more. This beast always needs more money, more recognition, more food, more alcohol, or more drugs. The pure maiden represents our indwelling divinity, our source of real strength. True strength is to be proactive, not reactive. True strength is to cry when we're upset. True strength is the ability to nurture, calm, and exhibit self-love. Strength is allaying the ravenous more beast within and centering ourselves. Imagine attaining self-mastery. How would your life change? How would you like to engender respect? In what ways can you resolve conflicts with wisdom? Reconsider your definition of strength. The strength archetype invokes a higher level of consciousness and enables us to meet every difficulty with clarity, courage, and confidence. 9. The Jester. In medieval times, there were two types of jester. One was considered to be unintelligent and became the butt of people's jokes. The other hid his intelligence behind a clown-like persona to great advantage. The latter used ditties to relay covert and cryptic messages to the public. For example, clandestine news and plots concerning the royalty. The jester archetype embodies our ability to be defiant and rebellious in a constructive way, to break out of the confines of conditioning and stop trying to appease people. Let the voice of our truth be known and embrace our uniqueness. The jester's message is, lighten up. Life is to be enjoyed. Applying a potent combination of wisdom, irony, and humor to our problems is a great source of healing. The jester invokes joviality, creativity, playfulness, shrewdness, and cleverness in one holistic package. He uses mischief, rebelliousness, comedy, irony, and defiance to create an infallible strategy for living. Do you want to break the confines of conformity and make a difference in the world? Do you treat life as a game to win, rather than a game to play? The jester archetype is colorful, jovial, light, humorous, creative, intelligent, rebellious, defiant, responsive, and playful. When imbued with this energy, we live life to the full, enjoy the moment, and lighten everyone's world. The jester knows that wit and wisdom are bedfellows. Disguised in his clown-like persona is a great sense of duty, a yearning to reveal the truth and bring about justice. 10. The Hermit. In the fast-paced, harried world of today, we can learn much from the hermit's habits. His footing is slow, but sure. He takes a premeditated, conscious approach to life, knowing that each step is a small imprint that deepens and clarifies his life's path. Everything he does is executed with great awareness. Each breath he takes, each word he speaks, every decision he makes is a deliberate, conscious act. When we recognize that each of our thoughts and actions is a building block used to erect our lives, we partake in the conscious construction of our own reality. The hermit used solitude to elicit this lesson. By removing himself from the normal chaotic stream of societal thought, he is able to listen to the inner stirrings of his own intuition. Do you feel a need to retreat from the distractions of everyday life? Do you seek answers to pressing questions? Do you sense a deeper, more meaningful reality beneath the mask of matter? When hermit calls, Turn off your mobile, switch off your computer, and retreat to a silent sanctuary. Hermit energy is a directive to be still, contemplative, and meditative. The hermit encourages us to hold counsel with the wise witness within in order to deduce the best course of action or reveal insights into the true nature of being. 11. The Hanged Man. The term hanged man can be off-putting and has a tendency to make us uncomfortable. However, if you look at the tarot card depicting this character, he shows no signs of struggle on his face. In fact, he oozes serenity. The hanged man's expression is one of complete composure. He has no expectation, and all actions have been suspended. The hanged man is in a state of purposeful contemplation, aligning his mind and body to the natural rhythm and flow of the universe. The keywords here are yield, suspend, sacrifice, non-action, and submission. When we evoke the hanged man archetype, we become open to new perspectives. We look at our challenges from different angles. From his unique vantage point, he counsels us to look at situations in a new way, suspend judgment, and enjoy generating new alternatives. The hanged man advises us to stop doing and simply be for a while. When we withhold action and observe the events of life, we allow things to flow more easily. If, on the other hand, we struggle, fight, and insist on control, we are met with restriction and pressure every step of the way. Don't just do something, sit there. Sacrifice is a facet of the hanged man. He instructs us to give up things that do not serve us. By suspending our actions, we are able to identify the path of least resistance, our highest path. The hanged man urges us to remain calm in the face of adversity, step back, and deduce the best course of action. He is the epitome of calmness and the embodiment of wisdom. Instead of acting impulsively and erratically, can you simply pause for a moment? A single problem has numerous solutions. Would you like to discover them? How would simplifying things enhance your life? Step back and evoke the hanged man archetype. Assume the position of observer and simply watch your thoughts. Focus your attention on a situation requiring a solution. Look at it through different frames of reference. Consider every alternative and widen your options. When you have exhausted every possibility, allow the situation to dissolve back into consciousness. Allow the solution to arise naturally, without force. Now, let another challenge arise and repeat the process. Refining your mind in this way will reveal your true potential. 12. Temperance. The temperance archetype is the embodiment of balance and equanimity, which leads to self-mastery. When we become spiritually receptive to the energy of temperance, we hear the tranquil essence of our spirit running through us. Temperance is the flowing river of our spirit running through us and cleansing and purifying our energies. Imagine immersing yourself in a crystal clear waterfall, which attuned you to the rhythmic flow of the universe. Exhilarating, isn't it? Temperance is an indication that subtle shifts are taking place. When we quietly and objectively investigate our life, we begin to see patterns. Temperance encourages us to use these patterns to find balance and restraint. The keyword, chemistry, is included here because temperance deals with mixing the right ingredients in our lives in order to flow with the path of least resistance. It takes skill and perseverance to attain balance, but once we do, the rewards are great. Temperance supports a body at rest. You will not drown. You will float, so long as you cease to struggle. Temperance also indicates a commitment to sobriety, healing, emotional stability, and self-love. Very often, spiritual seekers evoke this energy when growth is needed after experiencing a spiritual drought. When you are run down, lost, frustrated, or confused, allow the energy of temperance to infuse every corner of your being and lead you from the wilderness. Would you like to resolve inner conflict? Imagine feeling balanced and poised. Our internal world is populated by many different characters. These subpersonalities are often in conflict with each other. The resulting turmoil gives rise to feelings of fragmentation and unrest. Temperance isn't about choosing one or the other. It is about mixing things until you get the perfect blend. The following exercise is designed to bridge internal division and foster wholeness. Relax and clear your mind. Call forward a part of yourself that is in conflict with another part. Ask it what it wants. Listen carefully and acknowledge its needs. All conflicting parts have your highest good in mind. Now, call the opposing part out and repeat the procedure. Evoke the energy of temperance. Allow the archetype to identify ways of blending the contrasting parts and achieving synthesis. 13. Devil. The idea of the devil is daunting for most people. In a suppressed society, topics relating to this archetype are not openly discussed as they elicit intense discomfort. However, if we approach it with open-mindedness and maturity, we can glean a massive insight. The ego is the devil incarnate. Ego tells us that we're either superior or inferior. Ego convinces us that we need drugs, alcohol, or food to feel content. Ego tells us we need a new car to be admired. Ego tells us to subjugate our friends to second best so we can elevate our own status. When the devil archetype is active within us, we've got some serious soul searching to do. We need to hand control of our lives back to our indwelling divinity and resume control. The devil tells us that we are possessed by our competitive and possessive nature, stooping to a level of functioning that is beneath us. We are designed for greatness, yet when we stoop to the level of egoic thinking, we're blind to our own beauty. An ego-driven mind operates under the illusion that love and success must be obtained through deceit, betrayal, coercion, and manipulation. The key words appertaining to the devil archetype are ego, loss of control, error, addiction, illusion, disruption, and enslavement. When the devil strikes, we need to counterbalance our energies with the love of our indwelling divinity. Are you being possessive, manipulative, demanding, or controlling? Are you undermining others in an attempt to improve your status? Are you experiencing jealousy? If so, then the devil archetype is active within you. To disperse this energy, evoke the strength and lover's archetype and operate from a higher level of consciousness, one in which individuality and separatedness give way to unity and wholeness. 14. Catastrophe. The catastrophe archetype is about change, usually very sudden and not so pleasant change. Change is typically gradual, allowing our minds to accommodate and adapt to the different shifts in our lives. When a sudden cataclysmic change occurs, it is an anomaly of sorts. Such a drastic upheaval means the universe is trying to awaken us from our somnambulistic state. This wake-up call comes in the form of an event which shakes us out of a mental and emotional fog. When catastrophe strikes, we mustn't slip into victim mentality and the poor me syndrome. Instead, recognize it as a wake-up call. Harness the energy the upheaval embodies and use it as fuel to power a shift in a new direction. Next time catastrophe strikes, ask yourself the following questions. In which direction is the universe ushering me? How am I deceiving myself? What do I need to change imminently? What am I denying or resisting? After asking these questions, evoke one of the positive archetypes. For example, the magician, to enable the necessary change. 15. Wolf, the pathfinder. Wolf is the pathfinder. He ventures out alone in pursuit of knowledge and returns to the clan to share his findings. He is the embodiment of loyalty and the epitome of wild spirit. Wolves are instinctively packed animals, but maintain a very strong individual urge. They are friendly, social, and highly intelligent creatures. Amongst their numerous attributes are strength, confidence, and surety. When we evoke wolf energy, we are settled in our own skin and have no need to prove ourselves to others. We trust our insights and use our keen senses to act on them. Diversity is of the utmost importance. Exploring different paths breathes new life into our day-to-day routine. When wolf energy comes alive within you, your innate teaching instincts will come to the fore. You will wish to share your knowledge and assist others to deepen their understanding of the forces of nature and the great mystery, the universal oneness. It is in the sharing of new insights that the collective consciousness of our planet will reach new heights. Are you ready to be of service to others? We cannot take anything material from this life. To make our lives worthwhile, we must give them away. Instead of our resting place being in the ground, let it be in the hearts of all those we have encountered. Evoke wolf energy and foster the gifts of contributing, healing, service, sharing, teaching, and using your unique gifts and talents for the highest good of others. 16. The butterfly. The butterfly's essence is that of transformation. It has 4 stages in its life cycle. 1. The egg. A beginning, an awareness that change is needed and that your old way of life no longer works. 2. The caterpillar. The stage of identifying which areas of your life warrant change. 3. The chrysalis. Contemplation and introspection. Going within and deciding how you will manifest the needed changes. 4. And finally, the birth of the butterfly. Action and the spreading of your wings. Many people recognize a need for change in their lives, but are often too frightened to put their feelings and thoughts into action. They get caught up in the chrysalis stage, cocooned in a rigid shell of fear. When this happens, learn from the courage of the butterfly. The world awaiting the butterfly outside the cocoon is totally different from anything it has ever known during the other stages of its life cycle. Yet, it sheds its shell and takes to the skies without fear or hesitation. Are you ready to embrace the infinite opportunities which exist in a domain yet unexplored, the unknown? Evoke the butterfly archetype. Shed your cocoon of fear. Assume a new way of being. And fly into a new world. 17. The universe. Since time immemorial, we have elevated our eyes towards the heavens, seeking reassurance and guidance. Looking into the vast expanse of space imbues us with awe and wonderment. Just for a moment, imagine yourself floating serenely through the dark velvet heavens, peppered with an infinite array of stars, planets, comets, and meteors. The sheer magnitude of what surrounds you is enthralling. Now, turn your senses inwardly and concentrate on the vastness of your internal universe, peppered with its infinite array of possibilities. Allow the light of your indwelling divinity to cast out any shadows and illuminate your highest path. The universe archetype embodies the energies of wonderment, diversity, perfection, inspiration, and creativity. Its message is one of hope, healing, guidance, cleansing, assurance, ascension, and rejuvenation. This inspiring archetype urges us to transcend our human nature and evoke the higher energies. Whenever we are lost, confused, or frustrated, we should raise our eyes to the universe and evoke its infinite power. Allow its healing qualities to pervade our being and bathe in its inspirational essence. The universe has infinite organizing capabilities. Draw on them and use them to determine your path of least resistance. With the universe as your guide, you cannot fail to reach your optimal potential. Are you realizing your dreams? Are you prospering and achieving your heart's desire? Are you living on purpose? Then you are an evolved being who has embraced your natural heritage, master of the universe. The universe archetype is evoked by integrating the lessons, attributes, and resources from the preceding stages of this journey. It is a sign that all your constituent parts are aligned and working together to propel you towards your destiny. 18. The Sacred Singularity. The Sacred Singularity is the last archetype in the journey of the Alchemist. As such, it embodies the completion of a long, sometimes challenging journey. The Sacred Singularity represents all elements coming together in a unifying experience that embodies success, achievement, abundance, fulfillment, enrichment, and satisfaction. Our once fragmented psyche has transformed into an integrated whole. Opposites have merged and synthesized to work as one. The yin-yang principle is at work, bringing balance and unity. Our awareness has elevated to the level of enlightenment and cosmic consciousness. We have become the ultimate creator. Do you feel integrated and whole? Can you truly savor the moment? Do you have an underlying sense of peace and contentment? Do you recognize everything and everybody as an extension of yourself? Congratulations! You have achieved the ultimate goal of the Alchemist archetypal journey: unity.